What Lift Orlando is trying to do is to rewire the escalator where it has been going downward. And our goal is to make the neighborhood a place where the escalator is moving upwards. Where by virtue of living here, showing up and doing your best, you don't have to be superhuman. You don't have to be a miracle to be able to succeed because you live in a neighborhood where you can thrive.
It's been very rewarding to actually see the transition of the community, knowing that, of course, before they came, we had some very condemned, ran down apartment complex that was in the area.
We had the worst housing in those apartments. Our schools were struggling, dealing with almost 100% turnover in their classrooms, a lack of access for healthcare.
For example, you can look at the park, Lake Lorna Dune. It was not an area that you would always want to have your kids hanging out at, but now it's beautiful.
I started out here working for the Chamber of Commerce in the 90s. You know, it was probably the time at the Chamber that gave me the first taste of what was possible if the business community could lock arms around social issues. Our name Lyft was born because we had this combination of all these high-powered business leaders in a room wanting to make a difference, yesterday.
I was fortunate to be there and to be part of that. And so I'm very proud to walk into this and look at the facility and look at the health care that is being offered and know that it is as good as anything you would find anywhere else.
Every center is beautiful. We hold ourselves to the highest standard, and we really do have physical plants that are much nicer than many you'll find in other areas. We provide pediatric care here, we provide primary care and behavioral care.
The idea here was to build a building that would serve as a neighborhood living room, the kind of place where residents would have HOA meetings and gatherings and parties and celebrations, where you'd have a cafe, a third place where you could linger, have coffee, catch up with your neighbor, where folks know your name and you see people across that you know, and oh, by the way, there goes your doctor. That the healthcare would earn its credibility on the social capital of the community.
I love that they want to know who you are. You're not just a phone number. You're not just a patient that's someone, they care, they smile.
The story I'll tell you is of a young family with 3 children, a wife and husband, who had no reason to think life was going to change so dramatically until he lost his job. That led to some domestic challenges at home and abuse, and she ends up finding herself having to take her children to safety.
I had to transition to a place called Family Promise. This is the part of the story that eats me up sometimes, because Family Promise, they house you inside of a church. You wouldn't understand it until you're in it. And you don't get it, because I was going to work, I was functioning as if nothing was happening, but I was homeless. And I started to lose hope. What's so funny about finding Pendana and West Lakes and Lyft and everything, they said, we're giving you the model apartment. I walked in there and I thought I was in a condo on South Beach. I was so excited and elated. I said, look at God sending me from the pastor's office to a 3-2 poolside apartment.
And that's really where the story starts. And about 2 years after moving in, announces she's moving out because she just bought a home.
There's other Yolettes out there. There's other families struggling for housing. And my biggest thing is, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna learn what to do, build my credit, so I can leave and let somebody else, get that spot, just like somebody gave me that spot initially.
For us, the idea of being able to support mom and children and stay with them all throughout that entire circuit, that's the definition of what we're trying to accomplish. It's an ecosystem of success.